Money. How often do we think about it? How often does its absence or instability cause us anxiety and fear? But what if I told you that money is not just the currency we earn and spend? What if I told you that money is not just paper or numbers on a screen, but a key to attaining inner freedom if we control it properly? And what if I told you that Stoicism is a philosophy that can help you not only understand yourself, but also manage money while maintaining inner peace? Despite the storms of the outside world, we live in a world where stress, anxiety, and fear about money chase us every day. Social media, news, colleagues, family, all remind us of the importance of financial stability. But what if, instead of worrying about what we can't control, we start managing what's actually within our power? The Stoics argued that the key to freedom is inner harmony and self-control. By managing our reactions and emotions, we become free from external circumstances, and this knowledge we can apply to our finances. In this video, we'll explore how the philosophy of Stoicism can become your personal guide in managing money. We'll learn how to approach money without attachment and how to make it a tool for creating the life you dream of. The wisdom of the Stoics will help you break free from fear and learn how to move forward calmly and confidently, regardless of external circumstances. Before we continue, if you're curious how Stoicism can change your view on money and teach you to manage it with peace of mind, please like, subscribe to the channel, and click the bell so you won't miss new videos. Your support helps us create more content that will help you become better. When we encounter money, the first thing that comes to mind is its value. We live in a world where money dictates many aspects of our lives: the choice of where to live, the ability to travel, education, health, leisure. It's obvious. But what does Stoicism do to this perception? The Stoics, unlike most people, don't see money as the ultimate goal. They view money as a tool to achieve goals, but they never place it on a pedestal. What does this mean for us? What is this philosophy? The Stoics teach us that attachment to money is the path to unhappiness. We often think that more money will bring more happiness, but that's not true. The Stoics teach us to understand that happiness is an internal state, not the result of external circumstances. We can't control everything that happens in the world, but we can control how we react to these events. The same applies to money. We can't control the economy. We can't predict how much we will earn next month or next year, but we can control our attitude toward money. Let's take an example. Imagine you lost your job or faced financial difficulties. This event can be incredibly painful, but should we see it as a catastrophe? The Stoics teach us to accept such events as an inevitable part of life. For a Stoic, the loss of money is just a circumstance that should not define their inner state. The Stoic realizes that money comes and goes, but what doesn't depend on circumstances is their attitude toward themselves, toward their inner state. It's important to understand that Stoicism does not teach us to reject money or refuse to earn it. It teaches us to see money as a means to fulfill goals, not as the goal itself. When we stop striving for money just for the sake of money and start using it to create a better life, that's where true freedom begins. Let's be clear. Money is just a resource that can help you achieve your goals, but no more than that. The Stoics never placed money at the center of their lives. Their life philosophy was based on the idea that inner world is more important than the outer one. When we become attached to money, we become dependent on it. When we stop being attached to it, we free ourselves from its power. Each of us has experienced fear related to money at least once. The fear of not earning enough, not having enough to cover our needs, the fear of losing everything that we've worked so hard to earn. These feelings become especially vivid in times of economic instability, or during financial crises. When uncertainty arises, whether in earnings or expenses, fear can become a real obstacle, blocking the path to finding a solution. But what if I told you that Stoicism teaches us not to avoid this fear, but to learn how to work with it? The Stoics didn't reject emotions. They didn't try to suppress them. On the contrary, they studied them, understood them, and used them to their advantage. Fear, like any other emotional impulse, can be seen as a signal, and instead of succumbing to its pressure, we can learn to direct it toward constructive action. Take a moment and think. What scares you about money? The fear of losing wealth, or being unable to provide for yourself and your family? Perhaps it's the fear that you won't be able to achieve your financial goals. These fears may be natural, but they shouldn't control you. The Stoics taught us that fear arises when we allow ourselves to dwell on what may happen in the future. We start to worry about things we can't control, and when we focus on what lies beyond our power, we lose our sense of confidence. The Stoics suggested we return to the present moment. Instead of worrying about possible losses, we should focus on what we can do right now to improve our situation. Every step we take, every decision we make, every action we take is a step toward creating our future, not just a reaction to uncertainty. Let's consider a practical situation. Suppose you found yourself in a financial pit. You've lost money, can't find stable work, and your business isn't bringing in any income. This can trigger intense fear. But the Stoics say, don't fear what you can't change. Instead of suffering from failure, start looking for opportunities to solve the problem. Take action without allowing fear to paralyze you. The Stoics saw fear not as an enemy, but as an ally. Fear is a signal that action needs to be taken. When we feel fear of loss, it's our internal warning mechanism. But it's important to understand, it shouldn't lead to panic. It should be a catalyst for finding solutions. So how did the Stoics manage fear? One of the key tools they used was reflection on what could be lost and what truly matters. They taught us to ask ourselves, what's more important to me, material things or inner peace? In the case of money, this is especially important. When we become attached to wealth, we risk losing ourselves. But when we understand that losing money is just an event, not a tragedy, we maintain our calm. It's also important to remember, Sion, that like any other resource, money can come and go. Losing money is not the end of the world. It's just one of many variables in life. If we build our lives on principles such as self-control, honesty, responsibility, and the ability to make decisions in uncertainty, then we are on the path to true inner wealth. So how do we manage this fear? The first step is accepting that we can't control everything that happens with our money, but we can control how we react to it. By managing our thoughts, we manage our actions. Instead of fearing what might happen, we can focus on what we can do today to improve our financial situation. Another important aspect, always be honest with yourself. When you feel scared or you're worried about financial problems, ask yourself a simple question. What can I do to change this situation? Once you answer that question, you'll begin acting with clear purpose and without fear. Time is the most valuable resource we have. Unlike money, time can never be returned. We can lose money and earn it back, but lost time never returns. And when it comes to money, we often forget that they are not just numbers in an account. They essentially represent our life. Every dollar we earn is not only a product of our labor, but also a moment in time we spent to earn it. What if I told you that Stoicism teaches us to value time as much as money? The Stoics argued that our lives are limited, and every moment we lose will never come back. Therefore, they suggested that we not only learn to control our money, but also manage our time, so we don't waste it. When we focus solely on earning money, we risk losing sight of the true value of time. We start chasing after external things, forgetting that time is not just a unit of measurement, it is the essence of life. The Stoics always emphasized the importance of living consciously, giving attention to the things that truly matter. For the modern person, this is especially relevant. We live in a world where time seems to slip through our fingers. We rush, we're constantly distracted by countless factors, and in this chaos, it's often hard to determine what really matters. The Stoics offer us mindfulness in every moment of life. Every day is an opportunity for self-improvement and for a more conscious relationship with both money and time. When we don't manage our time, we lose control over what we can achieve. The same approach applies to money. Money is not the end goal. It's a tool to achieve meaningful goals. Goals that have real value. How we allocate our time is just as important as how we manage our money. The Stoics taught that the most important goal in life is creating inner peace and harmony, not accumulating material wealth. And they were right. A real-life example. How many times have you spent money just because time is pressing? For example, buying something on impulse without thinking about the long-term consequences, or spending money on things that didn't bring you happiness. All this happens when we don't understand the value of time and how it relates to our money. After all, a purchase is not just the exchange of money, it's also the loss of time. The time we spent earning that money, making the decision, and the thought process behind it. So, how do the Stoics recommend we approach this? First, they teach us that we should strive for minimalism. The fewer material things we have, the more freedom we gain. But this doesn't mean we should reject everything. It means that it's important to invest our time and money in things that truly matter. When we talk about money, it's crucial to understand that what really matters is not earning more, but learning to manage what we already have. And this is connected to our time. When we learn to save time on insignificant things, we can invest more in developing ourselves, our skills, and what truly matters to us. The Stoics said that wealth can be measured not only by the amount of money we have, but also by the time we spend in harmony with ourselves and how we use that time to achieve our goals. Money is not the goal. The goal is self-improvement, the pursuit of wisdom, and harmony. Time, however, is our most valuable capital, and how we use it determines our future. How can we apply these principles in life? Don't let yourself waste time on things that don't matter. Don't spend money on things that don't bring you closer to your goal. Strive for efficiency, both in how you spend your money and how you manage your time. Constantly ask yourself, what can I do with this time to become better? What can I do with this money to improve my life? These are the questions that will help you invest your resources wisely. By maintaining an awareness of the value of time and money, you create the foundation for your inner freedom. After all, the truly free person is the one who knows how to manage both their money and their time, without letting these external things control them. Many of us dream of financial freedom and independence. We want the ability to control our money, to not worry about debts, and to move forward confidently, knowing that our financial future is in our hands. But there's one important obstacle on the way to these goals: discipline. Without financial discipline, all efforts will be in vain. Too often, we see people lose control over their finances due to lack of self-control, impulsive purchases, or poor financial decisions. Stoicism offers us a unique approach to developing this discipline. Before diving into the details, let's define what financial discipline is. It's the ability to manage your money wisely, to make conscious decisions, build long-term plans, and avoid the temptations of short-term pleasures. Discipline in this context isn't just about cutting unnecessary expenses, but also about managing all your resources, whether it's money, time, or energy. The Stoics argued that in life, we need to learn how to control our desires. We cannot afford to buy temporary pleasures at the cost of long-term benefits. When it comes to money, this is especially relevant. We often make impulsive purchases because we crave immediate satisfaction, and that leads to financial problems. Here's an example. Imagine you decide to buy an expensive item because you think it will bring you happiness. Maybe it's something you'll rarely use, but you buy it because you felt an instant desire. The Stoics teach us not to give in to these impulsive urges. They say, happiness isn't found in having more things. Happiness is an internal state that doesn't depend on material possessions. This is a very important principle, which can be applied to everyday life, especially when it comes to money. Instead of spending money on things that don't have long-term value, the Stoics suggest we learn to control our desires and emotions. They teach us to ask ourselves, do I really need this? Will this purchase bring me true satisfaction? Or am I just trying to fill a void in my life? These questions help us develop financial discipline because they make us think about the long-term consequences of our actions. One of the key aspects of financial discipline is the ability to delay gratification. The Stoics said that true self-control lies in the ability to postpone satisfaction in order to achieve more meaningful and long-term goals. This can be applied to our finances as well. The sooner we learn to delay impulsive purchases, the faster we can accumulate funds for more important goals. For example, investing in education, improving the quality of life, or creating passive income. All of these require discipline. Financial discipline also involves the ability to not react to fear and anxiety that can arise in difficult financial situations. The Stoics taught us that fear is not a reason to panic. On the contrary, it signals that we need to take action. Instead of worrying about future financial difficulties, we must focus on what we can do today to improve our situation. This is true discipline, the ability to stay calm and take action, even in the most challenging circumstances. When you master Stoic principles, you become more mindful of your finances. Instead of spending money on trivial things, you start investing in your development, your future, and a more stable financial situation. You stop striving to accumulate things and start appreciating the true meaning in what you do with your money. Financial discipline isn't just about limiting expenses. It's a way of life where your money becomes a tool for achieving higher goals. It's the ability to think strategically instead of impulsively. And Stoicism gives us the wisdom to do that. How to develop this discipline? The Stoics suggested starting with small steps. For example, set a limit on impulsive purchases. Ask yourself before each purchase, do I really need this? If you're unsure, delay the decision for a day or two. It's also helpful to track your expenses. This will help you understand where your money is going and identify which spending doesn't bring real value. Discipline is not an instant change. It's a process. It's the daily decisions you make that are aimed at improving your financial situation. It's the ability to make choices that require patience and self-control. And as the Stoics teach us, this is the path that leads to true freedom. And so, we've reached the end of our journey through Stoicism and its impact on managing money. We've explored how Stoic philosophy helps us not only understand the value of time and money, but also develop the discipline needed to make our finances work for us, instead of the other way around. Every moment of our life is an opportunity that shouldn't be wasted, and every dollar we earn is energy that we've invested in creating our reality. So, what truly matters? The Stoics teach us that it's not money that defines our happiness, but how we manage it. True freedom isn't found in accumulating material wealth, but in the ability to control our desires, our actions, and our resources. The strategy of self-improvement, making wise decisions, and developing financial discipline helps us create the life we truly want. And this life requires mindfulness, focus, and most importantly, discipline. Now that you understand how Stoicism and money intersect, it's time to take action, time to stop impulsive buying, time to invest in your future, and time to learn how to manage not only your money, but also your time. But no matter what, remember, your inner balance and your ability to self-control are what will give you the key to financial freedom. You are capable of more than you think. Believe in yourself. Trust the process. And remember that your actions today define your life tomorrow. If this video has inspired you to reflect and you want to continue on your journey to self-improvement, subscribe to the channel and leave a like. Your likes and subscriptions motivate me to create new videos where we'll dive even deeper into the philosophy of Stoicism and its impact on our lives. Share your thoughts in the comments. What steps in terms of finances and discipline have you already taken? How does Stoicism help you manage money? Let's discuss it. Remember that your philosophy defines your path, and this path is through mindfulness, discipline, and striving for the better. Let's build our future by controlling what we can control. And on this journey, Stoicism will be your faithful ally.